So today we're going to do some recording on the Canon XC15, and to do so we're going to use this new PixelFlash 256 HyperCore CFast card. Let's open this up. Pop that in. It says it cannot record to it. So let's take a look. First it says no memory card. First thing we got to do is switch this over to video. So hopefully now it will recognize the card, which it does. So this has to be switched from photo to video. I'm going to go into the menu here and swipe. Actually, let's go into this. So it'll say HD recording. What am I going to do? There's an initialize, CFast. I'm just going to push yes. Yes. So it says it's completed successfully. Okay. Now the next trick is this. It needs to be set on 4K. If it's set on HD clips, basically what it's going to do is just try to record to an SD card. So if I push yes to that and then back out of here, you'll see it says no memory card when there actually is a card in there. And the problem is it will not record HD clips to a CFast card. You have to use an SD card for that. So we'll go back into the menu. And then 4K or HD, you want to touch that, enter that, change it to 4K clips. And then, yes, that's good. Back it out here. You can pick what type of recording you want. This is the lowest frame rate possible, and it's 23.98 frames per minute, or per second, excuse me. And you can see it takes a card that can do 205 megabytes per second. So we're going to ramp ours up to the highest quality 4K recording at 29.97p at 305 megabits per second, which is the fastest that this machine will go. We're going to just close that out. And then you can see here it says that the CFast has 1 hour and 51 minutes worth of recording time. I'm just going to start this up. You can see it's running here. So that's good. And I'm just going to record some cityscape here for a second. This, I think, is on autofocus. Let's zoom in here a bit. See what the neighbors are doing on a Saturday. Beautiful Denver skyline. It's pretty cool. Can't really see too much. The XC15 has a built-in lens, so it'll only take you so far with this particular lens attached. But it's not bad for a 4K recording. Maybe we'll come back in and do a night recording a little later. So anyways, you can see it's not erroring out. There's no problems with that. It's running smooth. And I'll just let this go for a while. It's at 144.15. Let's see here. Just let it run for a bit. I'll do a little time lapse on this. Gonna zoom back out. See the overall skyline again. How's that? It's really beautiful out here today. Just let that run for a little while, and you'll see that it's working great. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to check out the PixelFlash 128 gig card. Since this is the 256 gig model. So I have another one of these right here. This new guy. Shiny new card. Just got it from Amazon actually. So I think we're good here. I'm going to push stop on the recording, and then we can open this back up. Eject the card. PixelFlash 256 HyperCore, really cool. Really inexpensive actually for what the technology is contained inside. It's a very fast card. So let's try that 128. So it says cannot record on this memory card, that first screen. Let's shut this off and turn it back on and see if it does that again. I want to get that just to show you guys that sometimes the screens contain information that's not very accurate. So pop this back in. Cannot record on this memory card. Okay, well, let's see if that's true. And the way I'm going to see if that's true is by going to menu and then going to initialize, click on memory card, click initialize, quickly erase all files from the memory card. Initialize, question mark? Yes. That was pretty fast. And then that's done. Available space in memory. 128. It says 305 megabytes per second, which is the setting it's set on now. That's 55 minutes. That's great. It's a lot of time. If we want to switch that to, let's say, drop down to 205 megabits per second. It's a lower resolution recording. You can do that. And now, if we go in here and look at the memory card again, available space, and now we're in 22. So you can get an extra, what is that, 37 minutes by switching that setting. And then we'd have to go in and actually analyze the data inside of our editor and see what, how the change actually appears resolution wise in the recording. I haven't done that yet, so I'll take a look at that sometime soon, but I'm going to just bump it back up to the fastest rate because that's really what we're concerned with, is the 130 VBG guarantees on these cards, and we wanted to make sure it can go the full resolution. So we'll go back to menu. We'll click on 4K clips. Yes, that's all set. click on the frame rate. We'll go back up to the highest one. So again, lowest frame rate, highest frame rate. Close out. And again, just start our recording. You can see it's going here. Now again, folks, this is important to recognize. If I'm using this, I'm going to stop this recording really quick. But if I'm using this camera and it is set to still shot, you are not going to ever see a memory card inside of here. So it says no memory card. That is because it is looking for an SD card. So for instance, I can open this back up. I've got my Samsung SD card here. If I put that in, now I can shoot still shots. You can see it's set to still and it doesn't say no memory card anymore. All right, so let me switch this over to make sure it's on autofocus. That's on autofocus. All right, so now if I want to do a still shot, no problem. And if I want to switch it back over to recording, okay, what you can do is, show one menu button here. Now if I go here, where it lets me choose which recording type I would like, 4K recording, I can actually go HD now. Should be. Let's try again. HD recording, and I can go anywhere in here with HD recording up to 50 megabytes per second with the SD card, and it's actually almost 60 frames per second, but the resolution isn't as high as you can capture with the CFast card. As you can see, it only needs to go 50 megabytes per second, whereas when we go switch it back into the HD recording or the 4K recording, it actually utilizes 305 megabytes per second. So there's a big difference in what it's able to handle with that amount of bandwidth for the data. So we'll close that again. So now it's back onto 4K, right? And we will zoom out and just keep recording here. There it goes. And I'll just let this time lapse for a bit. You guys can see. There we go. Okay, so it's about enough time for this. We're going to go ahead and pop this card back out. Stop this here. Show you the card again that we're using. Again, this is the PixelFlash 128 HyperCore 3600X, and the 256 HyperCore 3600X. Pretty sweet. These ones are about $200 for the 128, and these ones are about $300 bucks. A little less for the 256. Great deal for this camera. Lots of recording time, so highly suggest it. Highly recommend it.